Hiya, so what we're going to go through with this sequence or series of exercises on the big ball are some common issues that we'll see in terms of posture and position when riding, what causes those problems, and then how we can fix those. All right, so the first thing we're going to go through is an issue in terms of pelvic and then the back, particularly the lower back, but also upper back position. Okay, so a very common thing we'll see when we're riding is that we hollow through that lower back. So Hattie's going to show us the hollowed lower back position. So essentially, you're arching your lower back there, lovely. What we may then see is the rib cage flaring. So Hattie, if you just bring your hands behind you there, lovely. Good, so as though you're riding, good, okay. And then you're going to hollow the lower back and your rib cage will flare towards the wall in front of you. All right, so this is something that we often see. So when you're told to sit up really tall, shoulders back and down, this is what happens. We arch our lower back and we flare through the rib cage. From there, what can happen is you tip yourself forwards, so you end up in front of the movement, or you tip yourself backwards. You can still maintain the hollowed lower back position, but you tip backwards and you're going to be behind the movement then, okay? So what we need to do to rectify this is work on forwards and backwards pelvic tilting, okay? So we imagine that the pelvis is a bucket of water. You're going to tip the bucket forwards, spilling water out the front, lovely, and then tip the bucket backwards, spilling water out the back. Just bring the hands forward so the camera can see. So just work through that slowly, Hat. So tip that bucket forwards and you're rocking up onto your sitting bones, lovely, and then tip the bucket backwards, rocking back onto those sitting, or off of those sitting bones. Okay, so forwards, up onto sitting bones, backwards, off sitting bones. Now what I want you to do is find the midpoint between those two extremes. Lovely, really nice. And from there, we're in neutral spine, okay? We can control the rib cage. So if the rib cage starts to flare forwards, just imagine you've got that spring in between the rib cage and the hips, and you just want to tighten that spring up, okay? Lovely job. And you just start to feel those tummy muscles switch on. So then what you think of is stacking the shoulders over the hips, and then we've got a really nice upright body position. However, we're in neutral spine and our core muscles, specifically the abdominal muscles, are engaged, okay? So that is a much more desirable position to be in. We're not then in front or behind the movement, and we've got a lot more pelvic and spinal stability. All right, so that's the first one that we can work through. I think this is a really, really good one to practice. You can practice on a gym ball, you can practice when you're riding, you can practice on a normal chair, so you've got a bit of variety there. As I say, give it a go. It may not be appropriate for you, so if you do have any medical issues and you're not sure, please feel free to send me a message. You can get me via the Chaps Physio Facebook or Instagram page, but do feel free to try it out. You can film yourself, post it on social media. Remember to tag Chaps Physio and always hashtag Team Chaps. Thank you very much.